That's a very satisfying change of appearance, isn't it? That's what they call it. It's the Holographic pen which we've been selling for a little time on our website now. I gave one to Tanya Thompson, who works at Hasbro, and she loves the idea of something which changes its appearance dramatically, and asked if I could go through my collection and show her some other items which do the same thing. So I said, okay, it sounds like an interesting remit. I love being asked for particular subjects to show. The first thing that occurred to me was this one here, which I picked up in Japan. Well, both these I picked up in Japan, which do a wonderful transformation of appearance from a little series of sort of red ovals, or lozenges I call them, and when you do this action here to make the ballpoint come out, it changes to hearts. Isn't that clever? That's a blue ballpoint pen and a red ball, and it's got Japanese writing on the back. But that change from that oval shape, or no, it's not an oval, it's a lozenge shape, into a heart is absolutely delightful. So, and then as I came out of the airport, this is the same trip to Japan, I came across a torch being sold there, which is a torch. I'll turn it on so it switches on, but then it changes in the same way with that long diagonal axis there into a heart. Isn't that beautiful? And that, of course, you can wear around your neck. Very nice shape. I call that 2.5D because it's flattish, but not fully flat, not fully three-dimensional. This one I came across a few years later. It's like a little pillbox. It does the same, would you believe? It starts as an oval and into a heart. And it's a little pillbox with space there to put your pills, and then it clips like that, and you can keep it in your pocket as a heart or as an oval. Isn't that beautiful? So 3 lovely versions of that transformation from the heart into an oval. So that's one set I showed her. Another one is an extraordinary one, which are what I call wobblers. They've got lovely names, this one's. And this one wobbles across the table like that, but it's going to change its shape in a minute. And I'll make this one wobble as well. You'll see the difference they change. This one is something, again, we've had on the website for a long time. We'd love to get some more, but here we are. And this one will change into a double cone. The reason it does that is because the intersecting surface is actually a square. If you hold it up like that, you can see from there to there to there, it's actually a square section. So it doesn't matter whether it's that way or that way, it's going to completely match. So that way is a double cone and that way is a wobbler. The double cone, I thought I'd be able to spin it like that. It's far too heavy, but it does if you're interested enough. Spin it that way like that, and we'll let it just do its stuff. But this one is delightful because this one turns into a spinning top. And Guterman invented it, and we've had it on our website for a really long time indeed. They're both absolutely delightful, but that's the stronger one, because that spinning top is such a lovely piece of work, and it spins and spins, and isn't that beautiful? And yet they both turn into the wobbler. One of those and one of those. Wonderful. Very, very nice change of appearance. Whoa! And there's some flat ones here, which is I'm a little more familiar with because I've had this for some time in my collection. This is a lenticular piece which will quite dramatically change from one animal into another. And I'll just do a up and down and let you choose which one is the dog and which one is the cat. But it changed very, very neatly. It's lenticulation which does that. And it does it in a transparent film form, which I like very much. It's quite rare. It's normally an opaque thing. And it changes from one animal to the other, and quite well. Each one is well depicted in full colour too, which is a nice one. And then there's another one of these transformers, which she hadn't seen before, which was very nice. It's actually showing a dragon there. That's a feature that in red on the black surface, with an interesting shape too, is a dragon. But then it opens up twice in a very dramatic way. First of all, it opens up flat like that, and becomes a sort of rocket, so it's up in the air. And then, very interestingly enough, you close it up the other direction, and it goes click, 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 and now you've got a rocket plane like that. But it's also a perfectly good and quite pleasant to hold ballpoint pen for writing with. Goes back into, yep, a flat thing, flat, click, 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 and then back into the shape I started with. So that's quite a dramatic change of appearance. The last item is something invented by Lubor Fiedler, now much missed because he sadly died a few years ago, but he makes extraordinary things. He started off with something that looked like a cylinder. You could spin it around like that. It's a black cylinder. It's supposed to be made of plastic. And it changes into something quite extraordinary, and it was a magic trick which I can't perform and don't know how it's done. What you're supposed to do is suck the air out suck the air out, yes. Well, you see what I mean? I'm actually going to push the air out by putting that in there. I'm going to push down like that, and you see something very strange going on here, because underneath I'm going to put my finger on that. Oh, what's that noise there? And push it right the way in, and let it go, and suddenly there's an ashtray. And of course, it's got a rubber membrane. Well, actually, it's got a rubber black balloon, which has had the neck cut off, and there's the bottom of the balloon there. He did some wonderful trick in which that was the appearance of the thing initially, and with some clever, deft move, he let the air rush in, and it became a black cylinder again. So that was very, very dramatic. I'll let the air back in again. You'll see it suddenly goes back into the shape of a ashtray. I think it's one of these. Woof. And the air comes out, and then you've got to flatten it. So I think that's a wonderful magic trick, but I prefer to do it as a transformation from one thing to another in a very, very interesting way. A great change of, almost dramatic change of shape, of appearance of the product. I think there's probably a few more in my collection, so I must go back to Tanya sometime, follow up with this one, and see if I can go in another direction, taking things which have a very, very nice change of appearance when you do something to it.